This is a Pod Dealers Network podcast.
What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar. The rants of the vindicated.
It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. All right, we gonna keep going. I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
Ready.
I feel like a Neanderthal.
Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school.
Suicide attempts, how many tries to take? They ain't ready.
Man, it seems like it's one of those nights where the universe is conspiring against me or something. All kinds of issues trying to get this done. But must mean I'm on to something dope. So here we go. Welcome to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. As always, I'm your boy Jerrod Flam, representing the White Pants Society. And I must thank you first and foremost for taking the time out of your day to come share with me, talk about whatever it is we talk about here. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I do greatly appreciate that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Man, let's just, go ahead and get into the proceedings. I'm not doing a video this week. Like I said, universe is conspiring against me. And I'm not sure I had the whole video idea fully baked anyway. So maybe I need that. And I just want to see like what my performance is like when I'm not worrying about the camera and looking at it and not looking like I'm reading and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to see how tonight goes, see how it works out. I can tell you this, man, doing the video stuff, that really got me to thinking about the whole copyrighted music situation. And so, I've removed that from the show and I miss the music, man. I really do miss the music. I got to figure out some sort of, avenue that I could incorporate just sharing music with people, just vibing out. Because I definitely miss that. But I don't know. On to the nonsense. What I'm sipping on tonight. Tonight I am sipping probably the bougiest tea I got. I'm keeping the streak alive, so we're doing a different tea tonight. I'm on hot tea again. This is from August Uncommon Tea. This is called the Heartbreaker. It is a God, please let me pronounce this correctly. It is a pistachio rooibos tea with apple, rose, and mint. Absolutely never in my wildest dreams that I think I would like that. Rose is off-putting to me. I don't like the smell of rose water and stuff like that. It makes, it gives me a headache. But this is delicious, man. Hold on. But yeah, definitely I think the bougiest of all the teas that I have. So bougie, in fact, that I feel like I gotta go out and like rob 6 people after every cup just to balance out the blackness or something like that. That's horrible. That's horrible. I shouldn't say that. That's a bad joke. Now that's a joke worth slapping somebody for. And with that said, I'm done. I'm moving on from that. It's over. I'm not doing it anymore. What else happened for me this week? It was an interesting week. Like moving past things and stuff like that. It's been kind of the vibe of my week. I'm trying to grow up a little bit, which is an interesting thing to say when you're 40. But I do still feel like I got some growing up to do. They say like when you deal with an addiction or something like that, like you stop maturing at the moment where the addiction really takes hold. And I don't know, for me that would have probably been somewhere in my 20s. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case, but I do feel like I got some maturing to do. I got some growing up to do, and I'm trying to just identify some things and make progress. I'm doing something this week that I haven't done. I'm ashamed to say this, that I haven't done in years, man. I can't really tell you the last time I did this. So I feel like it's gotta been like years ago, and I'm ashamed to say that. I'm reading a book. I don't know what you expected me to say, but yeah, like it's been a minute since I read a book cover to cover, and that's my goal. So I'm reading a book. I realized that I've been quietly rebelling against progress, like I've been dead set on wanting to succeed, my way. Like you can draw out the play. You can have already achieved the level of success that I want. And then you can sit down with me and draw out the whole play, map it out for me step by step, how I can follow in your footsteps and reach those same goals. And in my mind, like, I reject it because it ain't my play. Like, that was cool for you. You did it that way. But I got that ego that's like, I'm smart enough to do it my way. I'm smart enough to go against the grain. I've done everything, in a non-standard fashion so far in my life. My life has been so left, so far that, let's keep the party going. Like, I got to do it my way. And it's like the dumbest shit I ever heard. Like, if somebody can tell you, like, this is how it works, and you just determined to make it work another way, for no fucking reason. Not because, like, they asking you to, like, I don't know, sacrifice your firstborn child or something, and you like, nah, it gotta be a better way. Like, now they just telling you, giving you the game, and you like, I'm gonna do it, I got my own game. Like, say, I'm trying to, like, let go of that unwillingness to learn or accept, that somebody may have good advice. Like, somebody else's plan is a good plan. You don't need to be my plan. I don't always have the best plans, as my life is testament to. Like, my plans ain't always the best plan. Maybe I need to go with a pre-baked plan that already has a proven track record of working. Like, so I'm trying to get past. I'm working on it. Like, not there, but I'm definitely working on it. Like my cousin texted me the other day, and she said to me that she was proud of me, and that her only wish was that I was proud of myself. And to that, I had the same response. I was like, I'm working on it. And I'm even realizing that for me is like, that's my self-help. We'll see. We'll see is what I say when I'm just trying to delay the no. Like, I don't want to say yes to you, and I'm not ready to deal with your reaction to a no. So we'll see. And then, that just gives me time. Like, I don't ever have to say the no. You'll just eventually see, like I said, that I ain't doing it. And I'm realizing, like, that in the past, I'm working on it has been the, like, we'll see for, like, self-improvement type shit. Like, you tell me something I need to do. Yeah, I'm working on it. And that really means I ain't never going to do it. But I don't want to say that to you right now. So I'm not going to tell you I'm doing it. I mean, it's in progress, because then you might, be looking for something. Yeah, I'm working on it. Relax, chill. We'll see. But now, right now, I really am. Like, I legitimately am working on these things. I'm working on taking the advice, not delaying, not saying that I'm doing it and not doing it, but, like, legitimately working on it. I think this week I asked a friend who's also in the podcast game, and his podcast is like outperforming mine by leaps and bounds, and he isn't even producing episodes right now. Like, it's been a good minute since he dropped the episode, and I'm just like, dude, like you're winning really without trying right now. So I need some help. Like, give me some game. And he pretty much told me, like, the step, like, in my promotion type thing, I need to step my hashtag game up. I gotta, do the research, find the popular hashtags and the ones that work. It's not something new. It's not something I haven't heard before. And I've just been sitting here this whole time, like, I just don't like hashtags. I had this thing about feeling like they was corny. I think what bothered me is there are a lot of people who will post a message, and the message is more hashtags than message. And that shit, that makes my balls itch. Like, I hate that shit. I hate that, like, like, you do more to promote what you're trying to say than you do actually say something. And I hate that, and I never wanted to be that. So people will always tell me about when you dropping this stuff on Instagram or on Twitter and stuff, you gotta hashtag it up. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing it. Like, I want to be so dope that I don't need hashtags. Like, I gotta go against the grain. And now I'm realizing that strategy has not bore the fruit that I was hoping it would be. And I can get to the point where I'm so dope that I don't have to use hashtags by using hashtags. Let me get there first. I'm pretty sure like, Joe Rogan and Joe Budden and all them niggas don't have to hashtag the fuck out of their post because people are already looking at them. And maybe one day they did. I don't know. I'm not making a lot of sense. But you see what I'm trying to say. I'm actually trying to take advice now and try not to stand in the way of my own progress because of my ego. I had to admit when he dropped that on me, it was like, man, just do the hashtags. And I was like, man, I've been looking for the secret to how this shit works, and it's been in plain sight the whole time. I just didn't want to do it. Like I wanted to defeat the algorithm. Like that was my whole plan. I gotta be that dope, but that ain't it. And it's the same thing with this book that I'm reading. Like, I'm always hearing people mentioning books that changed their life, and a lot of times it's the same list. I hear the same books over and over again, and I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to be like, I don't know. I just don't want to do it. I don't know. It's ego. It's purely ego. I don't want to have to lean on somebody else's understanding of the world to navigate it better, which doesn't make any sense. And so I'm realizing that. All right, so let me stop pretending like I got it all figured out, because clearly I don't. And let me start listening to some people who clearly may have figured it out. And a lot of them are telling me I didn't figure it out. I listened to somebody who had. And this was the case with this. Like I was watching an interview of somebody who I admire, whose success, I want to emulate. And this person is actually younger than me, but, they've accomplished things in less time, than I have. And I'm trying to catch up. And he was listing these books that his mom made him read. And, and some of the books I heard before. And one of the books just stood out as like speaking directly to me. Like, dude, if you don't catch this hint, like, it's like God, like, hey, McFly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't catch this hint, I don't know what else to do for you. But yeah, the book I'm reading is, what you think of me is none of my business, or something like that. What you think about me is none of my business. And that's like, I need that. I need that. One of the things I've learned in like my recovery is they say, for me, I know this for me personally, but they say this, for addicts, like, my opinion of your opinion of me is going to kill me. And in my reality, it literally almost did. Like I was so caught up in what people thought about me, or being worried about what people thought about me, that I was lost in that fantasy land. I'm in somebody else's head looking at me and feeling some kind of way about how I think they see me, which is all unreal. And so, yeah, when I heard the title of the book, it was like, damn, like there was no other way you could title that book that wasn't talking directly to me like that. Like that was crazy. So yeah, I bought the book while the interview was still playing, and it still took me like 2 weeks to just crack it open. But I'm on chapter 3 right now, and I'm proud that I took a step in that direction, and I'm working on it, and I'm not pretending no more. Not pretending. So I'm working on it for reals this time. Speaking on pretending, let's do the Chef Elise report.
Out of Pepe.
This week, pretty much just more like for the time being, it's gonna be soccer dad stories. Like, and I say that, and at the same time, I feel like the soccer experiment is coming to an end. And I'll get to that though. But we still have some really, really dope moments. And we had some this weekend. But before I forget, the other thing that happened with Chef Elise,
Out of Pepe.
I gotta hit it every time. She got her report card this week, and it's like 5 pages long, which like just baffles me. I don't remember my report cards ever being like 5 pages long, but yeah, her report card is super long, and it's a bunch of like objectives and meets or exceeds. It's not it seems like it's a lot of paper and not a whole lot of information. Like you're really not Like I'm just looking for if there's areas of concern. If she's exceeding expectations, that's great. If she's meeting expectations, that's great. They give her these, E's and S's, I guess, for like excellent and satisfactory or whatever. And she had all E's and one S. Like, that's weird to me as well. But I'm really just looking for, like it's kindergarten. So it's just like, is my kid okay? Or do I have a reason to be concerned? And if I don't have a reason to be concerned, then I feel like it's a great report card. And I was happy about that. I was real happy about that. Yeah, so from what I could piece together, it was all positive. She's a great kid. She's super smart, in my opinion. And most people who seem to love her, I know I do. So that was all I was looking for. And that's what I got. But then we had one of those dope dad moments this weekend, going back to the soccer dad stories. It was picture day this weekend for the league. And all the teams got there early so they could take pictures. And I didn't make it there in time. I didn't make it there in time for pictures. But I got there like right in the gap between, taking pictures and game time. So the kids were kind of like in play mode and just like chilling, relaxing until around the time they had to play. And I'm walking up and Elise sees me, walking up and she got excited and she ran up to me and she's like, "It's my dad," and it's kind of weird to me because I love that she's happy to see me and that she's excited to see me and run up to me. But at the same time, like, I don't want her to be surprised that I'm there. Like, I want her to expect me to be there. Like, that dad is always there. So this is the norm. Not like, oh my God, dad showed up. Like, and we had that little conversation and it was cool. Cause she said to me, like, "I didn't know you were going to come." I'm like, "I'm always going to be here for this stuff, Sweet Pea. I'm always going to be here." And she was like, "Yeah, just like you were there for the first day of kindergarten." Like she was bringing this stuff up. So it's like, clearly she remembers. And that means a lot to me. Because, I think I talked a few episodes back about like checking my motivations and sometimes me doing things because I want people to see me doing things. But at the end of the day, it's supposed to be about her and it's getting through to her. Like she remembers this stuff. She knows the dad was there on the first day of this. She knows dad was there for the first practice. Dad comes to her games. Dad is going to be there. And I hope that she like starts anticipating. And then, but in the same vein, I say I'm trying to get through, and progress past the motivation issue. And part of that is not pretending like it's not there. Because in this case, like I want her to start being expecting dad to be there. And then I also feel like if she's that excited when she sees me, how that looks to other people. Like it reminds me, and this is a horrible metaphor, but it reminds me of back in the day when I used to walk in a liquor store and the cashier would like perk up immediately when I walked through the door and like loudly say hello and start grabbing bottles and stuff that he knew I was going to ask for. And I'd be like, "Man, chill, dude. Like, everybody don't need to know I be in here like that. Like, I know I'm putting your kids through college right now, but like be discreet, my nigga. Like, you're making a scene. That's too much." And that's how I feel with Elise sometimes. Like, chill. Like, people gonna think like you don't ever see me. Like, like I just came home from Afghanistan or something. Like, you saw me last week. Like, let this treat it like it's a normal thing. But nah, I love her being so excited to see me. It's fucking awesome. Like, if anything can like make you feel good about yourself, like that can do it. And I know that this is fleeting. Like there'll be a time where she'll be begging me to pretend like I don't know her. So I might as well enjoy like her being excited to see me while I still can. But yeah, she ran up to me and she hugged me and she's excited to tell everybody I was her dad. And she's introducing me to people I already know. And shit, like, "This is my dad, Coach Sean. This is my dad." Blah, and it was because I got to have my little celebrity moment and make the rounds. And she's introducing me to her teammates and the other kids. And they like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, he means something to you, not me." Like, okay, all right, that's your dad. Chill. But yeah, it means a lot that she like, she knows who her dad is. She knows her dad loves her. and she's like proud enough of the of that man that she wants to like show him off to people. That's a dope experience. But anyway, we did that, and then I got a minute to talk to her and ask her how her week was and what she did, what she learned in school. The typical I ain't seen you in a week, part-time dad conversation. And then I told her that I saw her report card and that I was proud of her, and that we would do something next time. It was my weekend to have her. And it's just now dawning on me that I don't know if she knows what a report card is. You know what I mean? Like, you forget that as a parent, that like everything is brand new to them. So just because it's just like common, like report, I went to school, I've got report cards. She goes to school, she gets report card. I don't know that she knows that's how it works. So I think she was giving me the smile and nod, like, okay, Daddy, yeah, you're proud of me. I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. But, she was pretending. She was pretending like she knew what she was talking about. And I guess we learned to do that early. But we had that conversation, and then it was time for the game. So we walked over to the field, and her stepfather was there, and he was filling in as an assistant coach. So, I'm not trying to do like the dueling dads thing. So, to me, the soccer field space was his space. He was there to coach her and, tell her when to go in the game. So I kind of fell back and hung out with the parents or whatever. And so we're looking over there, and, Elise is like having a moment. Like she's visibly upset. I could see that he was consoling her, and she was like clinging to him and stuff like that. Like something had happened and nobody saw what it was. She was just like super upset all of a sudden. And so eventually he came over, because I guess he could tell that we could tell something was wrong, but we ain't know. So he came over, and basically, like before the games, and these little kid refs, I called the dude this week Sandlot too. There was a dude like 2 weeks ago that looked just like the kid from Sandlot, and this kid looked like another kid from Sandlot to me, and couldn't have been no more than like 13 or whatever. But took his job way too seriously, if you ask me. But I guess that's a good thing. You're supposed to. But basically, before each game, the ref will come out and inspect the girls' equipment, make sure they got everything they need, shin guards, stuff like that. They're good to play. And apparently, and this is like game 4. Like, this is the 4th game, and they practice twice a week. So between two practices a week and 4 games, nobody has identified this, but this weekend it was brought to everyone's attention that Elise's cleats are not soccer cleats; they're softball cleats, and they let her play. So they let her play, but I believe what happened was she didn't like being singled out. Like, she caught wind that there was an issue, and the issue was with her, and she was embarrassed. Like, and I could see that, like, part of me and her in that moment. Like, I know how I would feel. I don't like to be singled out, and I don't like to make mistakes and have them pointed out publicly. And I'm pretty sure like she felt like that was her mistake. And so, I made my way over there to talk to her. And let me say this first, because I was feeling some kind of way myself. Because as a dad, just as a dad, whether you stepdad, part-time dad, full-time dad, whatever it is, as a dad, you are always the lesser parent. Like, you will always be looked at as the lesser parent. You are the backup to mom. Like, mom, unless you are a single father, most people are going to look at you like you the mom backup. Like, the preferable situation is that mom is there. And in the event that mom is not there, dad can be suitable backup, but we really wish that mom was there. And so you have that. And then when you're the part-time dad, and you're the part-time dad that's a recovering alcoholic and recently homeless and the other shit, like, the expectations are mad low. The expectations are mad low. And, you expect it to fuck up. And in these moments, like, it's just like, well, there it is. I saw something a while back with this woman that was upset about how, like, when they go to the store or something and her husband is doing something, he's pushing the cart with the kids, or he's doing anything with the kids, or he's shopping for diapers or something, like, people seem to applaud that. And he gets kudos for doing these really basic parenting things that, a woman would never get. Nobody would ever applaud a woman for buying Pampers. It's just like, that's what you're supposed to do. But for some reason, when a man does it, he gets these kudos. And I wanted to say to her and to say to other women, like, don't take that as, some sort of, all right, let me not tell you what to do. I don't see that as some sort of, like, privilege or kudo that I'm getting. It's really an insult. It's saying my expectations for you are so low that when you're doing the bare minimum, I feel like you're exceeding expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like dads are just not, we're supposed to be inept, unattentive, horrible parents. And if we're anything above that, if we show the slightest bit of aptitude, or we show the slightest bit of ability, it's like, oh my God, that's a involved dad. You never see one of those. Like, it is a jab. It's a jab, lady. It's not they're not bigging us up. It's a jab. It's saying, your bare minimum makes you better than your natural ability. Like, you have exceeded your natural ability by doing a very simple, mundane task. That's how low I think of you as a parent. So that's the mentality I walk into these situations with. So whenever, like, I took it upon myself to get Elise's soccer equipment, and I felt very proud because that was it was a thing for me to take her to a store and, like, manage her in the store from running everywhere while I'm trying to figure out sizes and all kinds of shit that doesn't make sense to me. And I felt very proud of myself for managing that event, for taking her out to the store, getting her, fitted for these cleats, picking out the cleats, picking out the shin guards, picking out the socks, getting her her water. But I got her soccer stuff, and I felt good about it. And, and now for, like, all these weeks, more than a month later, to find out that, she got softball cleats rather than soccer cleats. It was like, yeah, her dad got it, so what did you expect? That's how I feel. I don't think anybody was doing that, but that's how I felt. So, I needed to fix it. I feel like I needed to fix it. So I went over there and I made sure, I consoled her, and it was, making sure she understood that this wasn't her fault. She didn't do anything wrong. This was Dad's fault. Dad got her the wrong cleats, and Dad's gonna fix it. And so we sat there, and I, made sure she understood nothing to be upset about. Dad's gonna fix it. I sat there on my phone. We pulled up Amazon, and we ordered some cleats, right there. I'm like, I think they're waiting for me downstairs right now. But yeah, we picked out some nice pink cleats that she would like. Let her know it's not gonna be a problem next week. We got you some new cleats. Don't worry, shake this off, go play. You still can play. So go get out there, play hard. Don't worry about it. And so we had that little thing. And so I hung out for a bit over in the soccer area with the coaches and stuff. That ain't me. But so eventually, during one of the breaks, me and her stepdad were talking. And we talk about, how she plays the game. Like, my daughter's the worst player on the team. I don't know another way to say it. And it's not a diss to her. The other girls are just good. I think they've had some time in soccer. I'm not sure that soccer really is a passion of Chef Elise's.
Out of Pepe.
But she's out there, and she does this thing where she just stays with the pack. Like, she's always at the back of the pack. She runs, she follows the ball, she runs where the ball is, but she doesn't ever try to get to the ball. Like, she's always going to try to make sure somebody gets there before her and she doesn't have to make the play. But she does seem to get excited like every time she touches the ball, and we do too. And so we'll be like, man, she's getting more involved. Like I think the ball accidentally grazed her shin this week. Like she's in there, like her foot was in there. You see how her foot was in there? You see it? Like, yeah. So we have one of those conversations, and I say to him, I'm like, oh man, I bought her some cleats, so I'll make sure she has those next week. And then he said to me, he said, well, you got the last pair, we can get this pair, you got the last pair. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it. They already ordered. So like, don't worry about it. And, we just kept it moving. And you never think of like the cool Dawson's Creek answer in the moment. It didn't hit me until I got home. But again, it comes down to like this whole concept of not pretending. Like I'm not going to pretend like the situation isn't what it is. And so I'm sure he don't listen to the show, but I think my ex-wife does. I hate that it sounded like I just popped like I did one of them. I hope I didn't. I'm trying to edit it out, but whatever. I think my ex-wife does listen to the show from time to time, so maybe she can pass the message on. What I should have said if this was Dawson's Creek and I had writers for me is, man, hey, bro, let's not pretend like we in a equal share type situation. You know what I mean? Like if I buy the cleats this week, you need to pick up the cleats next week. It's not an equal share. You're doing the lion's share. You are housing, clothing, and feeding her. So yeah, I can take care of the cleats. I'll take care of the cleats. I appreciate you for what you do. And let's acknowledge it. Let's acknowledge that it's an unbalanced thing right now. And so I'm looking for places where I can contribute. I'm looking for spots where I can get in and do something and try to pull my way to play my part in my daughter's life. But I'm under no illusion that like somehow I'm doing as much as you doing. Like now we don't, it's not a, I got a lot of cleats to buy before we can consider this an even split, bro. So I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do. I can take care of simple stuff like the cleats. So don't worry about it. Appreciate you though. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, like just trying to get out of that mindset of like falling into things and pretending like situations are not what they are, lying to myself about, what stuff is. I just watched, before I recorded this, Jerrod Carmichael's new special on HBO. And if you get a chance, man, I highly suggest checking it out. It's funny at times, but it's very poignant and heart-wrenching. Right? It might get to you. Don't expect to just like laugh riot. It's gonna fuck with you a little bit. And I don't know if you've, I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but he talks about secrets and stuff. And I don't know if you've read any of the headlines recently about him, but he goes through a lot of that. And it resonated with me because I'm not at all equating, what I've gone through with what it sounds like he's gone through. But I know, I don't know. I know that feeling of having secrets and living with secrets, and the isolation that comes with that. And it's crazy isolation because, like there were people around me. Like the thing, I love my daughter. I love my daughter because she's my daughter. I love my daughter because she's a great little girl. But one of the things I get from her that means a lot to me is, there was a time where people looked at me a certain way. People looked at what I was capable of, and people looked at my ability, and I was a nice guy, and I took care of people, and I was professional. I had succeeded at it, to a certain level, not toot my own horn, but I was doing well for myself, and I think I was a likable person, and there were people that kind of held me in a high regard, and for the most part, I fucked all of that up. Like I don't think any of them people look at me like that ever again. I think I did an episode where like I told you somebody that knew me in like junior high was like, hey man, how's the smartest kid from whatever junior high doing? And it was like, fuck, like I gotta tell this person like that, nah, bro, like it didn't go whatever you thought it was going to go, it didn't. And so, if you hear where I'm at now, like that would not be the way you introduced me. This was the smartest kid I knew in junior high. Nah, bro, didn't go that way. And so, yeah, I lost a lot of that. And a lot of my identity used to come from that, like, the way people looked at me and trying to maintain the way people looked at me and feeling a certain kind of way about myself because of the way people looked at me. And I'm getting past that. But it is like, I was saying this about Elise, is that, when she does that thing where she's like, hey, Coach Sean, this is my dad. And she's like telling her, teammates on the team, this is my dad. Like she's like the last person I have that looks at me like that. And it's like, I'm trying to preserve that. But I was saying that, in the past, with all of those people who used to look at me or potential or hold me in a certain regard, it didn't feel good. I still felt super isolated, because for me, I was holding on to so many secrets that however you felt about me couldn't be real, because the person that you felt that way about didn't exist. Like the person that you thought was a good guy was not me. You didn't know the real me. And if you knew the real me, you might run, but you definitely wouldn't think of me the way that you think of me. And it was just, so yeah, all of those compliments and things like that. I used to tell people compliments could depress me. And it would be because, I felt like if you only knew, like it's only because I'm lying to you. And if you only knew the truth, things would be different. So compliments meant depression and pressure and regret and resentment. And I heard a lot of that in Jerrod's special. And so, yeah, life for me right now is, I probably overshare because I'm deathly afraid of going back in that like shadow, in that closet, and living, where I don't think anybody knows who I am. I'd rather let everybody know who I am in graphic detail than to feel like nobody knows me again. I guess that's a lot of the reason behind the show. But yeah, I know I overshare. I go way too fucking far. Y'all know too much about me at this point. But yeah, if you get a chance to watch that special, definitely check it out. But yeah, I'm trying to, this is my growth for the week is not only not lying to people anymore about who I am, but not lying to myself about the situation. And when other people describe the situation in a way I know is not true, to say, thank you, but you know it's not what it is. Let's be real about what it is. I can accept that. I'm good with what it is. I cannot go back into the unreal space. I can't. So I'm working on it. That's the thing for that. I don't know what I'm gonna title this, but I'm working on it. Might be one of them. But that's really all I got for this week. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, listening to my soccer dad stories. I didn't do any racial stuff this week. I feel proud about that. See, I'm growing. Did I? I didn't really. I did make the joke about having to rob people to get my black, but that wasn't. Whatever. Usual calls to action. Zaya Fitness. We had a conversation about bacon this weekend. There's no punchline to that. We just had a conversation about bacon. But Zaya Fitness, if you're looking for ways to get your nutritional goals or your fitness goals in line with where you want to be, if you're trying to grow a little bit and progress and not pretend like your health is as good as you want it to be, because you're not as sick as somebody else, then you good. I don't know where I'm going with this, but if you're looking for that kind of stuff, hit up Zaya Fitness at livealphafitness.com. That's livealphafitness.com. And as always, I got my merch. It's about to be the summer of the algorithm. So go check out the t-shirts. I got a ton of t-shirts, more coming. If I say something more than once, I'm probably putting it on a shirt. So check out the merch store at whatistws.com/store. Like I said, summer of the algorithm is coming. So keep a lookout. coupon code algorithm will be live soon. Get you 20% off your entire order. It ain't live now though, so don't try it. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got, man. Y'all let me know if you could tell any difference between the way this show was delivered and the way the shows that I've tried to do the video have come across. I don't know. I'm just having weird weeks, and I'm just sharing with y'all what's been going on. Not really that complicated. Drinking my tea. Got the Heartbreaker with an August Uncommon. One more sip before I go. It sounds like that. Like, is that swallow really loud? Do y'all hear all that? Super self-conscious. But with that said, until we speak again, y'all be safe, be the light, and be easy. And know this, if you know nothing else, this is real. Not something I'm working on. We there. I love you. Holla.